Have you ever noticed in your calisthenics training that after training a skill or an exercise for a long period of time and after a long period of progression, you actually start to plateau in it, or you even worse, you start to get weaker in it? Well, then how do you prevent losing progress like this? Well, why does this exactly happen in the first place? Apart from injuries, illnesses, and not training for a long time or other reasons, you can lose progress due to CNS fatigue. If you keep on training and exercise for a long period of time at a high intensity, more specifically for strength, then over a long period of time, your body will actually build some pretty good strength adaptations for that exercise, and you will get better at it because your body will learn how to recruit the right muscle fibers more efficiently. But if you overdo it, meaning you train that exercise at a high intensity for too long, then at that point your CNS for that specific movement will get fatigued, and when your CNS is fatigued, you will perform suboptimally for that exercise, meaning you will get weaker. Let's say you're training one arm push-ups and you're training them at a high intensity with very lower reps, and for the first couple of weeks you actually make some really good progress and you're feeling strong. But at week 5 you start to feel like you're plateauing, you're not really progressing as fast, and at week 6 you just feel weaker and you feel beat up and fatigued. This is because your CNS is fatigued. And all of this is completely normal and will actually happen a lot in your training journey, especially if you're training for strength. The best solution for this is to deload that specific exercise. A deload means training that specific exercise at a very low intensity and volume for about a week or so to let your CNS recover, or not really training that exercise at all and just focusing on other exercises for the deload period. When you come back from a deload, you might actually feel a bit weaker, so you might think, well, I don't feel stronger, but this is mainly because you're just rusty at that exercise, and after 1 to 2 sessions you will regain back all of your strength and you will become even stronger, and then progress will continue as usual. This is called supercompensation. When you take a break after a long period of making progress and being fatigued, you will come back stronger after recovery. So when should you deload? Intuitive deloading is the best. So when you start feeling weaker at an exercise or you just feel beat up and fatigued, then at that point you can deload. Now, of course, this could just be a weaker day, so make sure you feel this way for at least 2 sessions in a row before you decide to deload. When you're a beginner, you almost never ever need to deload. But when you become more advanced, deloading will become a regular part of your training because you're just training with such high intensity at such a high level, so your body needs rest occasionally. And of course, the more advanced you get, the more you'll know your own body, and you'll be able to tell intuitively when you need to deload. You can also plan deloads. So according to research, deloading every 4 to 6 weeks is actually a good idea. But if you still feel strong at week 6, why deload and cut the momentum? Similarly, if you feel really weak and tired at week 3, then why wait till week 4 to deload? Also, don't wait until you've completely lost your strength in an exercise before you deload it. This is overreaching too far, and you might actually come back weaker after the deload, or you could actually just get injured while training an exercise which you are really fatigued in. I mean, your body clearly needs a break from that exercise. Also, when you come back from a deload, don't immediately start training with the same intensity and volume or higher. You need to gradually build back up to it in 1 to 2 sessions at least. For example, in weighted calisthenics, when you're deloading your weighted dips, when you come back from the deload, don't use the same weight or higher. Instead, use 5 pounds or 2.5 kilograms less in your top set in your first workout session after the deload. And then in the next workout session, you can add an additional 10 pounds from last time. So if in the last week before your deload you did 40 kg in weighted dips for 5 reps, then after you come back from the deload, do 37.5 kg, and in the next workout session you can finally increase the weight to 42.5 kg. I learned this from Michael Schultz, so I highly recommend you go check out his channel, especially if you're into weighted calisthenics. For skills, when you come back, just use an easier progression. So for example, if you're training the full planche regularly, then after a deload in your first session, just train the half lay planche. And also remember to not go to failure in your first workout session after the deload. You're just using this session to prime your CNS again to do that movement. What I do is that usually after 3 to 4 weeks of intense training on an exercise, I will deload it for about a week because I found this out in my own experience. You need to figure out what works for you based on your own experience as well, instead of just following arbitrary numbers blindly. So that's pretty much it for this video. Now that I've told you how to prevent losing progress due to CNS fatigue, watch this video right here, which will tell you about the most dangerous calisthenics exercises and how to prevent injuries while training them, and just in training in general, which will help you prevent injuries in the future. So that's pretty much it for this video. Subscribe if you found value, like the video as well. See ya.